Colorado versus Nebraska. What did we learn? Let's get into it. So coming off of their major win versus TCU, everybody was looking at Colorado to see how they would play in their second game. Did they pretty much just live up and just play up to the talent level of TCU? Or was it just a flash in the pan moment? And while this was a decisive win for the Colorado Buffaloes, I'm not immediately turning into a hater. I'm just being realistic. There are still a lot of red flags around this program. First and foremost, I believe your local YMCA team could have beat the Nebraska Cornhuskers this past weekend. They played one of the worst games I have ever seen. Their quarterback play, I'm not gonna I'm gonna keep it respectful because that is a real person and he is a kid still. That was just terrible play. Absolutely terrible play. An interception and 2 lost fumbles on not even like just simply caused by you and you alone. That was just really, really bad. Overall, the only thing that the Nebraska Cornhuskers could do in this game was run the ball. And they didn't even run the ball a lot. Like they seriously, they could have ran the ball so much more based off of how bad their quarterback play was, but you can only run the ball so much. Like obviously there's certain downs and distances that you need to pass the ball and they weren't able to capitalize on any of that. This game should have been a much more decisive win from Colorado if Colorado's the team that we all expect them to be. I mean, in the first quarter and a half, Nebraska shut out Colorado. Nebraska's defense did a phenomenal job of flying around, just making it a hard time for Colorado to get anything going, to get anything started. Like they weren't able to find their rhythm. Colorado still is not able to consistently find their running game, and then their passing game, and Nebraska's DBs were flying around. But pretty much when you have quarterback play that bad and your defense is staying on the field that many minutes, eventually they're gonna break, and once it broke, the floodgates opened up and Colorado decisively won this game. But again, I wanted to see Colorado at least put up 40, 45 points on the defense this bad if they're able to do it on a defense as good as TCU. But real quick, before we really deep dive into this video, I want to give a huge shout out to today's sponsor, BUSR. Guys, bet with confidence this NFL season by getting a 100% deposit match up to $2,500 in BUSR Sportsbook when you click the link at the top of the description. Guys, BUSR has literally all of the best prop bets, parlays, you name it, they are your go-to spot when you're betting this NFL season. Guys, bet with confidence, bet with BUSR, make the right choice. They're who I'm going to be betting with. Click the link at the top of the description to redeem your 100% deposit match up to $2,500. Guys, take full advantage of this NFL season. You know, hey, make a little bit of money, bet with confidence, bet with BUSR, and again, thank you for them sponsoring this video. All right, getting into the good of what we saw from Colorado. Shedeur Sanders is yet again looking like one of the best quarterbacks in the entire country. I know that everybody has Drake May listed as the second best quarterback in the 2024 draft class. I don't care who. I seriously, I do not care if you're Mel Kiper. I don't care what your name is. Shedeur Sanders is the second best quarterback in the country. He has one of the strongest arms, not necessarily deep ball, but sideline to sideline. When he throws that deep out from the opposite hash, that ball gets there with some quickness, with some authority. He's one of the best dissectors of defenses. Anything underneath 20 yards, he is cooking defenses with. Shedeur Sanders in this game went 31 for 42, throwing for 393 yards and had 2 touchdowns. I have yet to see any real flaws in Shedeur Sanders' game. He doesn't put the ball in harm's way. He does a great job of being able to get open and run away from pressure in the backfield, at least as much as he can. That Colorado offensive line still has a lot of work to do, but he's able to make things happen. He's able to get around the pocket, and he's able to keep his eyes downfield and find his receivers deep. There was one play where Shedeur Sanders literally just juked out like 3 of Nebraska's pass rushers, rolled out to his right, and then somehow, I can't remember if it was Travis Hunter or Xavier Weaver who caught the pass, but hit an absolute dot on the sideline. I want to say it was Travis Hunter. Absolutely phenomenal. Shedeur Sanders is, in my opinion, the second best quarterback behind Caleb Williams in the country, and it's not even close. On top of that, this was Xavier Weaver's coming out game. In this game, he had 10 catches for 170 yards and 1 touchdown. Travis Hunter also had another phenomenal game, having 3 catches for 73 yards, as well as also having 4 total tackles and 1 pass breakup in this game. Jimmy Horn Jr. had a solid game with 8 catches for 64 yards, and Tavares Dawson had a very solid game, having 3 catches for 41 yards and a touchdown, as well as having 1 rush for 8 yards and another touchdown. So overall, like we all expected, Colorado's offense was still going to put up big numbers and still going to be able to outrun a lot of teams. But the same problems that Colorado had last week are the same problems that they had this week. Colorado's defensive coordinator needs to make adjustments quicker. When you are playing a quarterback that is not able to hit the broad side of a barn, he's not able to hit anything. Everything is going wrong for Nebraska, and the only thing they can do is run. Why is your secondary so far off the ball? They're not gonna pass it on you, and if you do, you have athletes in the secondary. They can run, they can catch up to however out of position that they are, because they're just better than Nebraska. I don't know why there wasn't 12 guys or 11 guys in the box. Like, that's all Nebraska could do. In a game where Nebraska only threw the ball 15 times and carried the ball 41 times, you would have thought that they would have been able to game plan around Nebraska a little bit better. But no, they gave up 222 yards on the ground to Nebraska. Like, that's all that they could do. Like, literally, that's like knowing that every single time, hey, this person is just gonna do a layup. That all they're gonna do is a layup. They're never gonna shoot a pass. All they're gonna do is a layup. You could just stand in the paint and just wait for them to come to you for a layup, and yet you're still picking them up at half court. I don't understand why Colorado did not change up their defensive schemes and just put more and more pressure in the box. Like, they could have seriously just completely neutralized Nebraska if they would have just made that adjustment. But they didn't, and it is going to be tough, because if Colorado's not able to stop the run, when they go up against these more high-powered teams, they got Oregon and USC in back-to-back weeks after their Colorado State game next week, they're gonna have a hard time stopping these teams if they're not able to consistently at least slow down the rush. And the second thing is your team is gonna live and die based off of how well Shedeur Sanders plays, and letting him touch the ground 8 times is not gonna get it done. Colorado gave up 8 sacks and 11 tackles for loss versus Nebraska. Now, don't get me wrong, Nebraska's defense is highly effective. They were running around, they were playing extremely well. I love Nebraska's defensive game plan. They played phenomenally. Colorado, you got to protect Shedeur better than that. You cannot let him get sacked 8 times in this game. And again, it wasn't like Shedeur Sanders was out there just scrambling around causing sacks himself. No, Nebraska was just getting home. Like, the tackles were just letting guys around the edge, pressure up the middle, like whatever you. 8 times that you touch the ground is bad. I want to say that they gave up 5 sacks last week. For as many passing yards as Shedeur Sanders has, he's touching the ground a lot too. Colorado's offensive line and defensive line, yet again, needs to improve. You need to be able to protect your quarterback better, and you need to be able to stop the run better. Overall, I'm super happy that Coach Prime got his second win. I believe that they're going to go 3-0 into that Oregon game. I believe that they're going to beat Colorado State. You have one more week to figure it out on that offensive and defensive line before you start playing the real big boys of college football. Oregon and then USC in back-to-back weeks, those are no joke teams. Those are both teams that can find themselves in the college football playoffs if the stars align right. Let's put a more realistic framework around this season. Coach Prime's not going to the college football playoffs in his first year. He's not even going to finish as a top 15 team. He actually might finish as a top 15 team. I take that back. He's not finishing as a top 10. You really got to understand that what we're looking for is just improvement. We're looking for the baby steps of seeing what Colorado could become. I don't care if they lose to Oregon and USC in back-to-back weeks, but make it competitive. Show that you're fixing your offensive and defensive line, you know? Only give up 2 or 3 sacks. Only give up 125, 150 yards rushing instead of 200. Those are going to be the steps that you're going to want to see from Colorado to show that they're making the improvements, that they're getting better. Obviously, they're going to get a lot better once they start getting these recruiting classes in. But overall, I'm happy that Colorado won. They won decisively. I still need to see more. I love what they're doing. They're gonna go 3-0 into that Oregon game. They need to play better on the offensive and defensive line. That it's just as simple as that. But I want to hear from all y'all. Comment down below. What are your guys' thoughts on the Colorado versus Nebraska game? I'm excited to see what you guys have to say. Do you guys think I'm being too harsh on Colorado, or do you think that I'm, calling them out for what it is? I personally think, you're not gonna find somebody who wants to see Coach Prime succeed more than me on YouTube. But I'm being realistic too. They need to fix that offensive line. They need to get better on the run, stopping in the defensive line. They need to create more consistent pressure on that quarterback. Overall, I love what they see. I love what I see from their offense. To me, they're just the USC from last year. Great offense, no defense. Can't really protect their quarterback super well. But as long as their quarterback's up, they're gonna have a fighting chance. That's what I see Colorado as. Comment your thoughts down below. Leave this video a like and hit that subscribe button and turn your notifications. And guys, check out BUSR, link at the top of the description. Redeem your 100% sportsbook deposit match up to $2,500. I love and appreciate all y'all. Hope that you have a super blessed rest of your day, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Ciao.